my other bins. Last week I was
in my other bins.
throw your diamonds up because we in this bitch another again. Let's go. I like it. Coming in hot. I like it. I love it. Well, obviously Dom isn't here today, so he's not here to babysit Jalen and I. Before the podcast started, we both decided it's time to burn this mother to the ground. Burn this mother to the ground. I have a schedule and things I want to talk about, but honestly, I said it earlier to Frank. I think this is going to be like everybody's at University of Mary Hardin-Baylor in 2016 and in Ferris Hall living with Red and Frank, because we might be going off the rails today, boys. Might be going off the rails.
We don't need no water. Let that mother burn.
Good. I like it. The energy. It's high. We're ready. So obviously we're gonna hit some NBA stuff hard tonight. Before that, though, I do want to look at some football real quick with how Dom and I did on our college spread picks last week. Make some spreads picks for the upcoming week, and then look at NFL obviously too on picks with those as well. Any games that Jalen wants to hit on, we can obviously talk about that as well. And then it's basketball time. But before I go into that and into our spread picks, please make sure to head on over to BetUS and type in the code 12OunceSports and follow along with my spread picks. Let me make you some money. I've been doing pretty well lately. Again, that is BetUS for all your sport gambling needs, and make sure to use that promo code 12OunceSports to let them know who sent you. All right, let's get into these college spread picks. I will go quickly here. Last week I went 6-4, which is okay. Would have liked to have done a little bit better, but I'll take 6-4. Dom went 5-5. I hit on South Alabama -3 versus Georgia Southern. Hit on Cincy -21 versus UCF, keeping those college football playoff dreams alive. Missed on the big upset of the weekend, Iowa -11.5 versus Purdue. Purdue gets the upset there. Missed on my lock of the week, which was also Dom's pick, BYU +6.5 versus Baylor. We both kind of thought that would be BYU's welcome to the Big 12, and they'd get the smackdown on Baylor. But apparently Baylor's a little bit of the real deal. We'll see how they play against some of these better Big 12 teams. But for the time being, it looks like Baylor might be a legitimate team in the Big 12 there. Missed on KU +16.5 versus Tech. Thought that defense was horrendous and might be able to give up a little bit of points to KU. I was wrong. Missed on Boston College +3 versus NC State. Hit on LSU +11.5 versus Florida. I said last week that I felt like this was going to be one of those weird games where LSU actually came in and had something to say, and they played well, and they did. So got the upset there. Hit on UTSA -18.5 versus Rice. Hit on UL Monroe +32.5 versus Liberty. That just seemed like way too many points. Then hit on Army +14 versus Wisconsin. That shaky quarterback play for Wisconsin. I will go ahead and lean into this week's picks, and then I think there's at least one game that Jalen wants to talk about for this upcoming college football weekend. I will go with SMU -13.5 versus Tulane. Been liking SMU quite a bit this year. Been riding with them. I will take Purdue +3 versus Wisconsin. Again, I'm just not confident in that quarterback play for Wisconsin. I will go with a little bit of a homer pick for Jalen here and go Oregon +2 versus UCLA. We'll talk about that a little bit later. I will take BYU -4.5 versus Washington State. Washington State firing all of their unvaccinated coaches, including their head coach, in the middle of this week. I'm not here to say if that's right or wrong, but I'm saying it's 5 days before a game, and that never looks good to lose your head coach and part of your coaching staff right before a big game like playing BYU. So I will take BYU in that spread. I will take my ride or dies this season with South Alabama -13.5 versus Louisiana Monroe. I will take NC State -3 versus Miami. I will take Vandy +20.5 versus Miss State. Seems like a little much. I feel like Vandy can score a little bit, and keep it a little bit closer than that against Mississippi State there. I will take Maryland not only to cover +5 versus Minnesota, but I will take Tagovailoa to win that game. I will also take Ole Miss -9 versus LSU. I feel like LSU's kind of done this thing where they have one good game and then the next week they fumble it and go back to Coach O getting fired this week, the whole thing. I'll take Ole Miss to cover that -9 there. And last, my lock of the week is going to be UTSA -7 versus Louisiana Tech. UTSA, been riding with them all season. They're 6-1 against the spread this season, 8-1 in the last 9 games against the spread. They're 10-2 in the last 12 home games. Plus, I'm never going to bet against Gilmer's finest, Coach Jeff Traylor, after he absolutely destroyed me in my high school team, 76-0 when I was a junior in high school. So I will never bet against that man because he is just a born winner. So those are my picks for the week. Dom will be tweeting out his picks a little bit later this week, but I want to get to this game that Jalen's wanting to talk about. Jalen, what game are we looking at?
Well, the Ducks are flying south just a little bit ahead of winter time.
Yep.
A little ahead of schedule there. I've been watching my Ducks all year. Every indication, every game that we've played has pointed to them being very mediocre this season in terms of our expectations for them. They're obviously still a top 10 team, barely number 10. But, we played great against Ohio State, but we have not played good since. Almost lost to Fresno in the opener, barely beat Cal last Friday, did lose to Stanford, who we always lose to for some reason when we're ranked in the top 5. Just can't figure that one out, can we?
No, you really can't.
No, we can't. I'm sick of it. I'm sick and tired of it. Can't stand it. So everything indicates that going to LA and, finding Thibodeau Friday night on TMZ at one of the clubs hanging out with Drake and LeBron may happen. But, you know what? I'm going to say that there's one reason that leads me to believe we're going to kick the crap out of UCLA. And it's because there's one man leading that program, one man that I will never forgive until he returns home to Eugene, Oregon. And that is you, Sir Chip Kelly. We've beaten the crap out of you the past couple of years. We're going to do it again this Saturday until you come home.
I like it. Jalen, I haven't really gotten to talk to you this year, at least on the pod, about Oregon that much. I'm curious how you're feeling about y'all's quarterback situation, and would you rather see them go, I know Anthony Brown's the guy right now, but would you rather see them go in the direction of Butterfield or Ty Thompson?
Well, I'm going to say play Ty Thompson. Put the kid in. Let him do his thing. The reason is, for one thing, as long as I'm an Oregon fan or just a fan of college sports in general, I don't know that anyone should ever be excited about hearing that, your potential starter that you're getting out of the transfer portal is coming from Boston College. I don't care if you're talking about basketball, football, pole vaulting. I don't think of Boston College as like a thriving football program that we're getting our quarterback from there. So I was never a fan of Anthony Brown to begin with. I mean, he was better than Tyler Shuck last year, but let's be honest, Randall. I'm better than Tyler Shuck. So
I've seen you throw the ball. That is factual.
Yeah, I mean, just the fact that I can, I'm not like colorblind and I can see what jerseys we're wearing that week, and at least make an effort to get it to those guys, But ever since with Anthony Brown, I just feel like maybe in the Chip Kelly era he would have been better. I don't think he'd still be great, but in this new offense with Cristobal and what we're trying to do, like I feel like we need a quarterback that's able, at least capable. Like I'm not saying we need a pocket only guy or anything like that, but we need someone who can make the big throws. And ever since, like he made some great throws against Ohio State, but I haven't seen him like throw a beautiful ball since that game.
You need Herbert.
You're not kidding about that. I cry a little every time I watch the Chargers play.
Yeah.
It's almost like just watching like if your little brother just not even your little brother. That's a bad example. Probably how his high school coach felt when he was at Oregon. He was like, man, I'm so proud of this kid, but we suck now.
Right.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I feel. I'm like happy to watch him with the Chargers, but I just like, oh man, I remember when he was wearing green and gold. It was lovely.
Yeah.
But yeah, just Anthony Brown. He's a great runner. Well, I don't even know if he's that, but he's clearly a run first guy. There's certain throws he makes. Like there was a couple in the game last Friday against Cal that reminded me of Case McCoy. He just when he was back in Texas, like dude just like trying to hit a check down for the tight end and like threw it into the turf. Like you literally saw the black pellets fly up on TV. That's not what you want to see out of your quarterback.
That's never what you want to see. Trust me, no. I went through seasons of Case McCoy. You don't want that. You don't want that.
So yeah, I mean, and here's the thing. I think Anthony Brown, I think he's a great leader. I think he is very mature. I think he steps into that role with, a tremendous amount of grace and experience he brought to our team and brought to us. But I just don't know if he's, for our offense, I just don't know if he's what we need. I mean, I've been watching, there's a small chance that we get into the playoff, like a very small chance, like very, very small. But I watched Georgia this year, and I'm like, if we sneak into 4, just forget it. Like, I'd rather go play in the Music City Bowl or something. Whoever, I don't want to play Georgia.
Right.
I do not want to play them. I don't care. I don't want to see Anthony Brown have to end his college career like that, because that defense is not to be messed with.
No, it is not. Yeah, I don't disagree with you on Anthony Brown maybe not fitting what this offense needs. I think obviously I agree that I don't think you need just a pure pocket passer, but I do think you need someone who is going to stand in that pocket a little bit longer. Not necessarily his first instinct is to take off. And then also I really want them to lean on Travis Dye even more going forward, because I mean the dude's averaging almost like 7 yards a rush right now. So let's see, he's 79 attempts, 527 yards, 4 touchdowns. I think you can just continue to lean on him because he's a really good back. But I do agree that I think that Anthony Brown's just not necessarily what y'all need in this offense. I think the problem is, has he necessarily done anything so atrocious to be replaced yet? Like, he's only thrown 1 pick on the season. Y'all have thrown 1 interception, by the way, the whole season.
Yeah, that's pretty remarkable. But I mean, so you're right. Like, I don't think he's done enough in that regard. Like, he's certainly better than what we went with most of last year. There's no doubt there. But there's so many overthrows. There's so many, throwing behind guys, throwing into the turf, hitting the ball boy. Like, there's just too much, like, in big
maybe
moments.
That's why he hasn't thrown so many picks, because he throws them out of play.
Yeah, I guess I like the attitude and the mindset of like, hey, if my guy's not going to catch it, no one's going to catch it.
No one is. Yeah, right.
No one except for the beer cart guy in the second row.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that Oregon team is kind of just strange with how it operates. I do think Ty Thompson would probably do a little bit better in that quarterback position. But like we said, I don't think Anthony Brown has not necessarily done anything to get himself replaced yet. So he hasn't pulled a Spencer Rattler yet. So
exactly.
Yeah. But anyways, you were kind of talking about college football playoffs. I did want to bring up a little bit some of these scenarios. I think a scenario that we're really looking at right now is the fact that Bama is probably going to win out here with a 1 loss, and then obviously after Bama, Georgia's going to probably win out as well. So then we're seeing a Bama-Georgia SEC championship there, and the thought of Bama beating Georgia, so they both have 1 loss, that it means 100% that they're both going to be in the college football playoffs. And that has just been such a depressing thought for me, because I've been thinking about that a lot, because I felt like this was going to be the season we were going to break the mold, stop having 2 SEC teams and then 2 other teams that are crap, or Clemson, I guess. But, I had some real high hopes for Cincy making it, and I still do. But the more this kind of plays out, the more I feel like Cincy's, even if they are undefeated, which I think they will be, and even if there is one undefeated team other than them or no other undefeated teams, I just don't think they're going to make it. I think the only way they could make it is if everyone else was like a 2-loss at this point. Everyone that was not a major player was a 2-loss. So, or everyone that was a major player was 2-loss. Like, if Ohio State ends up with 2 losses, Alabama 2, Georgia 2, blah, 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 all these other major players in the game would have to have 2 losses in order for Cincy to make it. And that is an upsetting thought to me.
Oh, absolutely. I'm with you. I've kind of been rooting for Cincinnati as well, mainly because they beat Notre Dame, and I love them for it.
Right. I am curious your thoughts on Oklahoma. Do you think Oklahoma, especially now with the change at quarterback and him being the real deal, it seems like, do you think that they are a legitimate threat to go undefeated in the Big 12 and win the Big 12 championship and be in the playoffs?
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, I think they are. I don't think they're a threat to do anything once they get there, but
right.
I mean, yeah, I could see them winning out. To be honest with you, wouldn't shock me.
Yeah, I did not think they would until Caleb Williams comes in and switches everything around. He is such a legitimate threat for them, both on the ground and in the air. And being the threat on the ground was something Spencer, he had a little bit, but not really. He didn't use it. And then obviously Spencer can make every throw in the world, and he knows that, and that's his problem, right? He can make all those throws, and he trusts his arm too much, and we all know from watching the show he's a cocky son of a gun, and ends up getting himself in trouble throwing some picks. But now that switch at quarterback, I really do think, sadly, that they are legitimate contenders. And I really don't think anyone in the Big 12 is going to come close to touching them anymore. So I did have that hope that Texas would win out and we'd play them in the Big 12 championship again. But now with 2 Big 12 losses, I don't think that's going to happen. So, but anyways, we will jump unless there's anything else college football wise you want to talk about. But other than that, I pretty much not a whole lot of really good rank games coming up this week. I think really that UCLA game and UCLA and Oregon is probably the big ticket this week. Oklahoma State, Iowa State might be interesting, but really not a lot of big games for this week. So. All right, we will head towards the NFL. As far as pick'ems, if anyone followed along last week with mine, I did not have a great week. Only got 8 of the I can't remember how many teams were on bye weeks last week. That was the first week of byes, but I got 8 games right, which brings my total on the year to 60-34. Dom went down, came up, got a little bit closer to me. He is 59-35 now, so we are one game apart. I'm hitting at 86.4% a ticket on my picks here, so having a pretty good year so far. I'd like to end in the 90 percentile though. I know Dom would too, so we are battling it out there. But obviously the Bucks beat the Eagles this past week. No one's surprised on that one. The Dolphins lost to the Jags, actually. Urban Meyer getting his first win. I would imagine he is still in London partying it up with all the people he shouldn't be around and just doing things with his hands that we all know he shouldn't be doing in public places. Or to people who aren't his wife.
In different area codes.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, he was partying in London, you bet, because Urban Meyer's got ho.
Oh, no. I will be shocked. I would be shocked if he's already back. They're on bye week this week. There's no way he's not still there. Like, they're on bye. He's got to be there. I would be shocked if he wasn't there. But anyways, Packers beat the Bears. Aaron Rodgers owns the Bears. He still owns the Bears, and he will always own the effing Bears. Just absolutely just brutal yelling at the fans, but he's not wrong. He's not wrong. So then the Colts beat the Texans. Boring game,
Hallelujah.
I know. Whatever, man. Colts suck, dude.
John, but let us have it.
I'll let you have it, I guess. But
it might be the last one. So
that might be the last one. They're a rough team. Rams beat the New York Giants. The Chiefs struggle early on against the Washington football team, but Pat Mahomes ends up throwing about 1 billion yards and ends up beating Washington football team. He has looked a little off all season, but I feel like people are going a little too far with that because Pat Mahomes a little bit off is better than every other quarterback in the NFL still. So, maybe it was. I think the difference now is not him as it obviously is the time he is getting in the pocket and the fact that I feel like finally his wide receivers aren't necessarily getting that separation that they have been in the past few seasons. But obviously still best quarterback in the league. Ravens beat the Chargers. Lamar Jackson has just proven everybody wrong that for some reason doubted him, even though he's already won MVP and led the league in touchdown passes that year. I don't know why everyone has amnesia from that, but he is the real deal, everyone, and he has a good shot at winning the MVP again this year. Ravens are a legitimate team here. So Bengals beat the Lions. Sorry, Dom, 0-6. Yeah. Panthers beat the Vikings, and kind of a shocker there for me. I'm sorry, the Vikings beat the Panthers. That was kind of a shocker for me. I'm not a Vikings fan this year. I don't know. I know the Panthers aren't necessarily as good as we thought they were, but I don't get the Vikings this year. They're a weird team. The Cards end up beating the Browns. Baker goes down. Just not a fun game to watch. It wasn't what we wanted out of this game. The Cards 6-0 though. The legitimate. Kyler Murray is here to stay. The Raiders beat the Broncos. Blah blah blah. John Goodengrund. F him. Whatever. Cowboys beat the Patriots in overtime. What a game. Trevon Diggs continues to pick off passes in spectacularly lucky ways. Always in the right place and the right time, and has led Cowboys fans to believe that Trevon Diggs is a top 5 corner in the NFL when God knows he's not. He is not. He gets burnt a lot. He is not a great corner. He just happens to have been in the right place at the right time at a lot of these interceptions. And honestly, I don't know how he's gotten so lucky. A majority of his interceptions have been tips or legitimately the quarterback just throwing it directly to him. Nowhere near directly to him. I don't understand how this is happening. Steelers beat the Seahawks with no Russell Wilson, obviously, and then the Titans beat the Bills on Monday Night Football. So, anyways, we will go ahead and move towards next week here. For this upcoming week, I'll give my picks. Dom will give his picks probably in a tweet later. I will take and Jalen, feel free to make picks as well if you'd like. I will take the Browns to beat the Broncos on Thursday Night Football. Jalen?
I'm going to agree with you on that one.
Fair enough. I will also take the Packers to beat the Washington football team. I have a feeling you will agree with that one as well.
Yeah, I'm taking discount double check on that one.
Yeah, this is an interesting game that I'm very excited to see, considering the Chiefs have not been able to stop the run to save their lives this season. Chiefs versus Titans here. I'm gonna go with the Chiefs, despite the fact that it's just hard for me to pick against them. But I do think Derrick Henry's gonna be able to run all over that defense. It's gonna be an interesting game, but I'm gonna take Chiefs.
I'm going to take the Titans, even though, didn't the Chiefs announce today they're moving Chris Jones back to D-tackle? Not sure why they moved him in the first place.
Yeah, and he's dealt with some injuries this season already, so.
So I'm going to take the Titans there.
Fair enough.
But not by a lot.
Fair enough. All right. I am going to take. This is just a crap bowl. Falcons versus Dolphins. I guess I'm gonna take Falcons. I mean, I don't want any part. No, you know what? I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. I'm gonna switch. I'm gonna go with the Dolphins. This is just a weird game though. A game that I could care less about.
I got the Falcons 31-3.
Woof. That's rough.
Throw it to Kyle Pitts. Let him rumble.
Let him rumble, young man, rumble.
Yes, right.
Then we've got the Jets going to play the Pats. I will take the Pats.
Yep, so will Jets fans.
Yeah, woof. Then we've got the Panthers playing the Giants in a game that I'm actually kind of excited about because I think these are two teams that match up relatively well against each other, actually. And I'm going to take the Giants with the upset to get their second win of the season.
Nope, give me Panthers.
Give me the Panthers, all right. Next, we have possibly a fun game here. The Bengals, a surprise team this year, not really to me and Dom. Me and Dom both had them as borderline playoff team this season, going up against the Ravens, who have kind of been a shock to me as how good they've been. I knew they were going to be good, but not necessarily this good. I am going to take the Ravens, but I do think that they are going to split the series. But this week, I'll take the Ravens.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ravens as well. They're hot right now.
Yeah. Then we will have the Eagles versus the Raiders in a game that I could care less about. I'll take the Raiders, though. I don't like the Eagles at all this season.
Yeah. You know what? I'm going to take the Eagles in that one.
Oh, all right. A little bit of Jalen Hurts action. Devontae Smith going to have a breakout game here?
I don't know, but when your quarterback has a first name like Jalen, you got good chances there.
Fair enough. I'll take it. All right, and then we will both take the Rams to beat the Lions, I'm going to assume.
Yes. Where is that game being played, by the way?
That will be in SoFi Stadium.
I was kind of hoping it would be Stafford's return to Detroit, and he would carve them up for like 380 yards.
No, sadly, it's gonna be at old SoFi. So, let's see. Well, no, yeah, okay, fair. I mean, it's Goff's return. If that means anything.
Yeah, no one cares about that.
All right, I'm going to take the Cardinals to beat the Texans in a game that I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say you also have the Cardinals.
Yeah, by about 50. It's going to be like a bad AAU basketball game score.
Yep. And then down to the last couple here, Bears versus Bucks. I will take the Bucks. I don't think a young Justin Fields is ready to go up against that defense yet.
Yeah, and the Bucks are hot right now as well. They played really well last week, so.
Right. And then 49ers versus Colts. What a horrible Sunday night game. I'll take the 49ers, but Lord have mercy. Someone, can we not flex this? Like, can we not flex Indy and San Fran with the God, I don't know. I guess the Bears and Bucks.
All right. I'm tired. I was going to let you go, but I just can't do the cold slander.
I'm sorry.
I know we're not great, but I'm still taking the Colts 24-18.
Fair enough. All right. And then Monday Night Football, baby, finally we get to see famous Jameis in action on the prime time, baby. Let him cook. Four touchdowns, 3 interceptions, but win by 7. Give it to me. I love the excitement. I don't care that he throws the picks. I want the whole Jameis Winston experience. Give it to me. Stolen crab legs and all. I want it all. Saints beat the Seahawks, baby. Let's go. Monday night.
This is the pick your poison game, right? I mean, it's Jameis versus Geno Smith. I mean,
let's go, baby.
I'm taking Jameis in that one as well.
Let's go. All right. Well, that's going to be our NFL picks. Got some interesting games on tap. But now it is time, Jalen. NBA has begun. It is actually playing as we speak. I believe the Bucks and the Nets are playing right now. Bucks have an 84-73 lead on the Nets, minus a certain Kyrie Irving because of some interesting situations that I don't even want to begin to talk about. But I think before we go into our playoff picks and our awards predictions, I would like to just kind of talk to you about some of the stuff that I feel like we haven't really talked about at all. Is some of these trades that are potentially brewing, may or may not, because we've got some real cast of superstars that could potentially be on the trade block during the season, and if they're not traded during the season, it's almost for sure that they're going to be traded next in the offseason upcoming. So the first one, obviously, is Ben Simmons, especially with what came out today about him getting suspended for a game, getting kicked out of practice. What do you make of the Ben Simmons trade? Does he get traded before the All-Star break? And what do you think is a good fit for him, at least?
Did you hear or see the pictures or the video of supposedly why he got kicked out of practice today?
No, I didn't know the videos had surfaced. Walk me through it.
He was practicing in sweats, and you could see his phone in his pocket.
He got kicked out for that?
Well, no. I mean, I'm sure he was, tripping and all that. That's not a good look either.
No, it's not. But so this wasn't just shoot around though. This was
it was practice.
Oh, okay, that's fair.
Yeah, it's who do you think you are, dude? Tate Martell? You hit a tweet in the middle of practice?
Lord, Tate Martell. Yeah, I definitely don't like the way he's carrying himself through all this. It's not a good look. But also, to put yourself in his shoes, not only the organization itself, his teammates, but the fans have just absolutely turned on him too, which it sucks. I mean, I'm sure that sucks, but definitely don't respond in the way he's responding.
So my prediction, I think he will get cut or waived or just not
just a buyout.
Yeah, they might. I don't know what the buyout is exactly, but I mean, who's gonna the Philly is asking for way too much, and so that trade thing is just not gonna happen because no one's willing to give a valuable asset for Ben Simmons. Not anymore. I mean, his trade value is about as low as it's ever been, and it will never be as high as it was when he 2 years ago. So right. I just who are you gonna, if you're a contender, or really even if you're not, how what are you gonna give up for Ben Simmons? You're not.
Yeah. The only thing that I've seen floated around that there's not even a lot of teams that make sense to me for him that are contenders, because the only team that I actually find interesting for him that's a contender is Golden State, because which they're not going to trade anything for. What are they going to trade? Draymond? Trade Draymond and I don't know, Jordan Poole and whoever else, and they're not going to trade anybody that they just drafted, but I do think that would be interesting for them, especially if there's a buyout situation. That's very interesting. But just because I feel like he could play a little bit of that Draymond role from when they were actually dominating the NBA, because Ben Simmons, despite his struggles, last year he was still one of the better, if not the best, on-ball defender in the league. I mean, the dude is a defensive, he's incredible on defense, incredible. And I feel like he is somebody that could bring that same kind of Draymond, because despite the fact that he can't score, that he's not willing to score in crunch time, he can still distribute, which is kind of where Draymond did most of his, when he was being, a defender, running the floor and dishing it out. And I feel like that's something Ben Simmons could take over in Golden State, but I don't know where he goes. I would almost like to see him go to a team that has absolutely no one, and he can find himself there. You know what I mean? I would love for him to go to, oh man, I don't know. I was going to say the Kings, but Oklahoma City, and him and SGA just pair together and figure out what We know what SGA is, but just figure out what Ben Simmons is. Let him have the ball in his hands and score. Let's see what he can do. You know, I feel like he never really had that opportunity. I think he needs that opportunity to kind of just figure out what he is.
Yeah, so this is going to sound like a stereotypical go to my team because I'm a fan. We don't necessarily have anything. The Blazers don't have anything to offer that I think Philly would take, but he'd be a perfect fit for us because I think he would be what we thought Evan Turner was going to be for us when we got him. And that's he's like Ben Simmons, like 6'8", 6'9", and so he can handle the ball. So you take ball handling responsibilities a little bit away from CJ and Dame, and allow them to just be more off the ball than they are accustomed to, which I think dramatically, improves their shooting abilities. And then you also get what we've always needed, and that's defense, because the two guys I just mentioned can't guard anybody, on the ball. And
no.
And Ben Simmons can, but he's also capable of guarding like stretch 3-4s.
Yeah.
So he's a perfect fit for us. We just don't have anything. Like, we're not going to give up CJ for him. Like, that's not going to happen.
And the crazy thing is, I don't think the Sixers would take CJ for him, which is crazy, because would CJ not be perfect for them? Like, he would be perfect for them. Like, they need that. They need someone who, Tobias Harris, whatever. They need someone who can an extra score when it comes down to it, because, Embiid can't do it all. He can't do everything. He tried. He did his best. But he needs somebody else that can score the freaking ball, and Tobias Harris doesn't do it consistently enough, and nobody else on that team does. He needs a score, and CJ would be perfect for him, but weirdly, I don't think that I'm blanking on the Sixers GM that used to be the Rockets GM. He's like,
it's Daryl Morey, isn't it?
Yeah, Morey. Like, I don't understand Morey's, all hail Morey, the GM king, the statistics king, all of it. I give him all the props. He ushered us into this new era of basketball. But I don't understand his price point on Ben Simmons. It just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Unless he knows something that all of us don't. Which maybe he does. I mean, he is an incredible GM, so.
Maybe he does.
But anyways, we'll go past Ben, and since you mentioned the Blazers, I'm going to throw it out there. I know you're not going to like it, but is there any shot that Dame gets moved either this season or in the upcoming offseason?
No, I mean, we're not going to trade him, I think.
Right.
I don't know what his extension is through, but it'll be one of those where he walks away.
I'm going to ask you this, because I get this sense. I get the sense of him wanting out of Portland is actually overblown. I feel like he likes it there more than what is portrayed. I think more he's just trying to, do this and save face to go, hey, guys, GM, head coach, owner, give me something to work with here. I need something to work with. I don't think he really wants to leave. I think he just wants Portland to do, which obviously it's going to be hard to get people in Portland. Portland's not, you know this better than probably anyone. It's not necessarily the destination every NBA player is wanting to go to, right? So it's going to be hard to do that, but I feel like Dame does not want to leave Portland as much as everyone in the media says he does.
Yeah, he's definitely using this situation as leverage. He's definitely handled it well. Dame, he's one of those guys where he's a real one, so he's not going to be pushed by and influenced by the media on what he should do, right? Like, everyone, every casual NBA fan, everyone in the media, they're like, well, this guy, Dame, and they're not wrong. He is one of the best point guards in the league. He's one of the best point guards in the league, and he's wasting his career, and he should want to leave to go win a championship. Well, it wasn't that long ago, I don't remember. I was a kid, but I don't remember in the 90s and the early 2000s that being a thing. I don't remember the media influencing and trying to get players to leave to go win a championship.
Right.
Like KD did it, LeBron did it. All these guys are doing it now, but that was never a thing. It was always like a win where you're at. And Dame has kind of always believed in that. And he's like, don't get it twisted. He wants to win a championship, but he wants to win in Portland.
Yeah.
Like he's a loyal dude. Like
he's dirt.
If he wasn't, he'd already be gone. But
yeah.
I mean, I agree with you. I don't think he necessarily wants to leave. I'll be honest with you, and I've been telling it to everyone who's asked me. After how last season panned out / this offseason, I wouldn't even be mad. Like Cavs fans were like burning LeBron's jersey. If Lillard left, I wouldn't even be mad at him. I'd still be a huge fan. I own 4 Damian Lillard jerseys. And I would be happy for him if he left, just because, like you said, he's got nothing really to work with. And they've revolved a team. They've kind of tried to revolve it around him, but they really haven't. We still don't have. I mean, outside of Covington, we still don't have too much defense. I think we moved Nurkic. I'm sorry, we got to get somebody else. And I just our big offseason move was getting Cody Zeller this year and drafting Greg Brown. Who, don't get me wrong, I'm a Greg Brown fan. He's from Austin. Went to Texas and all that. Love Greg Brown, but we had Derek Jones.
He's not going to start for y'all. He wouldn't play this season, I wouldn't think.
No, we went and had Derek Jones Jr. last year, and he did nothing for us. And we're like, well, let's get a younger version of that.
That is exactly what he is. He is Derek Jones Jr. with maybe a little bit better defense down the road.
I guess.
Not as good at shooting.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, he's longer. But yeah, that's how I felt. I was like, what do we do? And now, granted, we haven't had a good draft since CJ, but just another stinker for us in the offseason.
Yeah. How new is y'all's GM?
Oh man, that's a great question. I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay. Well, rapid fire, because we're getting close to where we need to start talking about draft here, or not draft, playoffs. But real quick, let me know if any of these guys you think are going to get traded this season, or if there's any ones that you want to stop and talk about. Bradley Beal, Karl Anthony Towns, and Pascal Siakam.
Do I think should be traded or should want to be traded?
Will be traded this season.
I think Pascal stays.
Okay.
I think they all stay.
I do too.
I mean, I would love to see them move.
Yeah. Those are 3 guys that I would love to see on different teams.
Yeah, for sure. All of which being Portland. But, we can't all beggars can't be choosers.
I actually would not enjoy Siakam on the Mavs. I don't think he would fit with us.
I don't know.
Not with I don't think almost nothing fits with KP to me.
Would you trade KP for him?
We would need other things.
Okay, that's just a question I had.
I would, but we would need other things coming with it, because especially the season Pascal had, he did not look great last season. Or the part of the season before.
Yeah, I mean that's true.
But then again, neither did KP. I still don't think KP. I think KP fits with Luka when he's healthy, but my problem is I don't think we need to be spending that much cap on a big man. This is not a big man league anymore, really. I know Giannis is a different. That's completely different. But we need more shooters. We need more 3-and-D guys, legitimate 3-and-D guys. I don't know. I feel like we could be spending our money elsewhere better. But I agree. I think all 3 of those guys stay. The only one that I could see getting traded this season is Siakam, just because I don't think Toronto is going to be good at all, really. But then my last thing before we get into the playoffs is Zion. Do you think there's any possibility he could get traded? I don't. But then also, do you think that there's a possibility that he is the first one of these superstars to not sign that first max extension with the team that drafted him and forego and go to the free agency? I know that was kind of a scare with Luka for Mavs fans. Luckily, we were able to re-sign him, but I think that's a legitimate possibility with Zion.
Oh man. Yeah, definitely not getting traded. Yeah, I don't know. That's a tricky one. I feel like, yeah, I feel like he could. I feel like he could be that. I feel like he's not he's not loyal to the Pelicans. I don't think he has any reason to be. Other than the fact that they drafted him, but okay, anyone would have drafted him. So
right. Well, and there was like I don't know if you remember this. There was like a bunch of reports of him being like, "Damn it," when he got drafted by the Pelicans. Like he was like, "I don't want to go there." I think there's one thing we can both agree on though with Zion is the food in New Orleans is treating him right. If you saw the pictures that came out of him, dude's gaining some weight.
I heard he could really pep up the gumbo.
Whoa, Coach O. Whoa.
Too soon?
I just say that again.
Said too soon for a Coach O joke.
Nah, it's fine. Everything's fine. Did you see the pictures of him like rookie, the second season, and this season?
Yeah.
Does that worry you a little bit?
I mean, I think it should worry everyone. Who knows, dude? Like maybe like Zion's like this kind of like nerdy, like, you know, doesn't say a whole lot type of kid. He's gonna watch. He's just gonna like break Twitter and just announce the way he's going at it. He's gonna just announce Twitter. He's going to play tight end for the Cowboys or something here soon. Like,
it didn't look like it was muscle that he had put on to me. It looked like fat, and obviously I'm one to talk, but there is this like really crappy tradition of players in the NBA like eating themselves out of the league a little bit, and I just hope to God that that's not him. I hope that picture was like kind of misleading in the same way that those pictures of James Harden were misleading right at the end of Houston. Like he clearly was not as big as they were making the camera angles were making him look. He was a little bit bigger, but definitely not that big. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I hope that that's what that is, and I really hope that he isn't headed towards that, because there's been a lot of really good players in the NBA that have done that to themselves that I think could have had better careers if they just would have like taken their health a little bit more seriously, which obviously, again, I'm one to talk, but I'm also not getting paid millions of dollars to be healthy. So
I just hope we're not looking at the Eddie Lacy of the NBA here with him.
Right. I mean, that's exactly what I'm talking about. There is a history of these guys doing that. These already bigger framed dudes then putting on the pounds, you know, but whatever. All right, well, let's get into these playoff picks. We don't have a lot of time. We spent a little too much time. We got about 10 minutes, so we're going to have to blow through these real quick. Let's start with the West, and what if you want to just go down the list or up the list, however you want to do it, of your 8 playoff teams, and if you want to give your first 2 out from the play-in games as well. I have those as well. So go ahead, start with the West, and tell me your top 8 and the play-in teams.
Oh, okay. So you want to just go like 1, 2, 3, or you want to go by matchups?
Let's go 1, 2, 3, and then we'll do the matchups after that. We can blow through this real quick.
Okay, so perfect. So I've got the Suns going number 1.
Mm-hmm.
I got Lakers 2, Jazz 3, Nuggets 4, Clippers 5, Mavs 6, Warriors 7, Blazers 8. So,
okay. We have got very different playoff predictions.
Yes, and then for my play-in, I had obviously the Blazers like winning that, but right. I have them actually beating the Grizzlies again. Okay.
What about for the 7? Who is your 7 again?
I have the Warriors. Oh, okay. And the Warriors are going to. I'm sorry. The Warriors are going to beat the Pelicans.
Okay. So yeah, our Wests are very different. My 1 seed, I actually have the Nuggets.
Okay, I'm not mad at that.
Yeah, I think Jamal Murray coming back. I'm really excited to see what they do. I'll take Nuggets 1. I'm gonna go Lakers 2, Jazz 3, and then Suns 4. So we basically just flipped Nuggets and Suns. I don't know. I could see some injuries maybe happening a little bit, slowing the Suns down. I think they'll be fine, but I don't know. 5, I'm gonna have the Mavs. 6, I'll take the Warriors. 7, here you go. This is where my stuff's a little weird here. 7, I'm gonna give you the Blazers. 8, okay. I'm gonna go with the Grizzlies. And here's my thing. I actually have the Clippers getting knocked out in the play-in games, and I think they were actually slated at the 7 seed. And I guess I'm not exactly how the play. I don't remember how the play-in games. Either Grizzlies or the Blazers beat them. But Grizzlies, I'm really excited. I think Ja takes that even another step up this year, becomes a superstar, and I think JJJ getting re-signed. I think they'll be good. And then I had the Spurs getting hit out. It's just hard for me not to pick the Spurs. Like when you have one of the best coaches of all time, I just feel like you got a shot there. But well, let's go ahead and start with we'll go through our West brackets then real quick, go to the Western Conference Finals, and then jump over to the East. Who's winning your 1 seed versus your 8 seed?
Yeah, Suns are beating the Blazers. Sorry, Portland.
Fair enough. I will have the Nuggets, my 1 seed Nuggets, beat the 8 seed Grizzlies 4-1. And then my 2 seed, I'll take the Lakers beating your 7 seed Blazers 4-2. I'll give Dame a couple of wins there though.
I'll take the 2. I'll definitely take the 2. My 2-7, I got the Lakers beating the Warriors in 7.
Okay. And then your 3-6, is that right?
My 3-6. Here's the thing. I don't know what I don't like about the Jazz.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is. I love Donovan Mitchell, but outside of that, let me take that back. He's not the only one I love on that team. I love me some Joe Ingles.
Fair.
I love anyone who talks trash because it's a necessary part of sports. I don't care, what you think about sportsmanship listening to this show. It is a necessary element to professional and collegiate sports.
Fair enough.
I'm also one that did a lot of it, so obviously I'm a fan of it. But I'm gonna take the Mavs, man. Like Luka Magic.
Yeah.
I will never admit and say that I'm like a Mavs like bandwagon fan. I 100% would be a Mavs fan all in if Portland wasn't already my team. But since I already have a team, I can't just jump on the bandwagon. I just love watching Luka play.
He's so fun to watch.
He's so fun to watch. I got to get up there and watch, I got to get up there to Dallas and watch a game in person. It's got to happen.
I texted you. Box seats. Think about it.
It's got to happen. Well, side note, I may actually be going the November the November 6th game, I think it is, Saturday when they play the Celtics.
Oh, nice.
My buddy's flying in town from Portland, and the new Celtics coach is Ime Udoka, who is from Portland. He's one of us.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, so may actually get my shot to go see Luka play the Celtics. But anyways, yeah, I gotta go with Luka on that one, beating the Jazz.
Fair enough. My 3 seed Jazz, I'm also having lose. There's something I don't like. I love them as a regular season team and hate them as a playoff team. I don't know what it is. They're the team that they're never going to lose to the teams that they're supposed to, or they're never going to lose to the teams that they're supposed to beat in the regular season, which results in them having a really good record. But I just don't think they can beat the good teams. So I'm having the Jazz lose to the Warriors, the 6 seed Warriors 4-2. And then I'll jump to my 4 seed. I have the 4 seed Suns losing to the 5 seed Mavs 4-3, baby. The Mavs go through in Game 7. Luka pulls off some magic. So go ahead and give me your 4 and 5, and then you can go ahead and start the next round too. We can bust through this real quick, about 5 minutes.
Let's do it. I got Nuggets beating the Clippers. Nothing really needs to be said there. Jamal Murray back. They got the Joker, and Michael Porter's kind of nice.
Fair enough. All right. Then I have got, let's see, where are we at here? Nuggets. Oh, no. Sadly, I kind of messed up my stuff here, but I'm looking at it. I'm going to say this is such a shot in the dark, and I think I'm probably wrong here. 1 seed Nuggets lose to the 5 seed Mavs 4-3. Luka pulls off 2 incredible Game 7s, and the Mavs finally make it back to the Western Conference Finals. And then I'll go ahead and I'll do my 2 seed Lakers lose to the 6 seed Warriors. They have the full team back now, and I think that they're going to be dangerous because, obviously Clay's supposed to come back around, I think, January, February time. Full strength Warriors. The Warriors are back. They win 4-3 against the Lakers to set up a Mavs versus Warriors Western Finals.
I like that. I'm going to go Nuggets beating the Suns in 6. And then I'm going to go with Lakers beating the Mavs in 6.
So you've got Lakers Nuggets, right?
I do.
That's fair. All right. Well, I'll go ahead and say it. Mavs lose to the Warriors 4-2, and Steph gets back in the championship. In the finals.
I like it. This one was tough for me because I love the Nuggets, but I just don't know if they're quite ready for LeBron and AD yet. I think the Kings got one last run in them. It's got to be it, though. This has got to be. And I think this will be the best version of Russell Westbrook that we've ever seen, because you can't do that just putting up numbers and losing crap with LeBron. It will not happen. Like, Russell Westbrook tries doing that instead of trying to just straight up win games, which I'm not saying he doesn't try to win, but like, he's going to have to find his niche in this team or LeBron will ship him off to somewhere awful.
Fair enough. All right, well, we're going to have to hit the East in absolute overtime. I'm just going to run through my teams real quick. 1 seed, I have the Bucks. 2 seeds, I have 2 seed the Nets. 3 seed the Hawks. 4 seed the Heat. 5 seed the Sixers. 6 seed the Celtics. Some shocking one here. I have 7 seed the Bulls. 8 seed the Knicks. And then the 2 playoff teams that missed it in the play-ins are the Pacers and your Hornets, Jalen. If you want to run, yeah, baby, run through your East teams real quick.
Yeah, absolutely. So for 1, I've got Bucks, 2 Hawks, 3 Nets, 4 Bulls.
Whoa, I love it. I thought I was going to be the high seed on the Bulls.
I said it, and I've got the 5 Heat, and that 4-5 matchup with Bulls and Heat in the playoffs. Give me all 7 of those games, and then we've got
fun.
Yeah. I've got Knicks at 6, 7 Celtics, 8 Pacers, and similar to you, I've got Hornets losing, and then 76ers as well.
Ooh, yikes. All right. Well, I'm just going to run, for sake of time, I'm going to run through mine real fast, and then you can run through yours, and then we can do finals here. I have the 1 seed Bucks beating the 8 seed Knicks 4-1. I have the 2 seed Nets beating the 7 seed Bulls 4-0, sadly. I have the 3 seed Hawks beating the 6 seed Celtics 4-2, and the 4 seed Heat beating the 5 seed 76ers 4-3.
Gotcha. Okay. I have got 1 seed Bucks beating 8 seed Pacers. I've got 5 seed Heat beating 4 seed Bulls. I've got 3 seed